The Arizona Cardinals had issues with finishing games, right? They played the Washington Commanders. They were up 20-7, lost that lead, lost the game. They were up 20-0 against the New York Giants, lost that lead, lost the game. This time they raced out to 15-3 and then later a 21-10 halftime lead against the Dallas Cowboys. And this time they finished the job and won 28-16 at home. First win under the Jonathan Gannon era and first win for Joshua Dobbs as well, their new quarterback. Dallas rolled up with 3 new offensive linemen taking over for injuries, and that's a huge thing to keep a note of. That's changing protection schemes, running lanes. But I mean, Tony Pollard was fine. He found holes. He had a pretty solid day. But Dak didn't look like what he used to be. And this time this was a game that Dak had to win because his team was down. The defense was getting run up and down on. They allowed 200 plus yards on the ground. And that's nothing that Trevon Diggs can fix, because as we know, unfortunately, Trevon Diggs tore his ACL in practice last week. He is done for the year. But you still have Micah Parsons. You still have a really good defensive front. And they're great in getting after the quarterback. They had 2 more sacks. But they're not a good run defense. We saw that not just from this game, but when the pass rush can tee off, they can play ahead. That's easy. They can continue to keep on this avalanche of hits, pressure, and forcing a team to pass. But when your team is down, they can still be run on, and that's what happened. And I think for any of these other NFC teams, the Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers, who have good offensive lines, who have good running backs, I would definitely try to run the rock on these Dallas Cowboys. If you can get the pass rush off kilter, you're still going to give up a sack or 2. It just matters on where it is, and if you hold on to the ball, because Michael Parsons can rip that thing out and take it back, or at least generate turnovers or interceptions even. This is some tape now to expose what's going on in Dallas. I think offensively, we're seeing now with the passing game, yes, it was good for a little run. We saw a nice drive featuring Michael Gallup. He had 6 catches for 92 yards, but not a lot of CD Lamb in this game other than that 130-yard catch over the shoulder. So this comes back to Dak. Dak had another interception, and this was him just trying to make a play, but it just wasn't there. He threw it right to Kaiser White, who was drawing at Dak early in the game, and then later got the best of him with this interception. So he won the day against Dak Prescott. And the Cardinals now move on to 1-2 on the year. And let's also talk about Josh Dobbs. Josh Dobbs has been a journeyman quarterback throughout his career. He was with the Pittsburgh Steelers, riding the bench behind Ben Roethlisberger, moved around a lot. He had his first couple of starts in Tennessee. Not the best, but that was a very shoddy Tennessee Titans team who had offensive line issues and nobody to pass to adequately on the outside. And Arizona is nothing great either, but at least they have running backs, and at least they have like Marquise Brown, who's a pretty decent receiver. He had a touchdown catch as well. So he was good. He was running as well. Sneaky, fast athlete as well. And I'm not saying that he's anything extraordinary, but this is good to see these journeyman quarterbacks get some good tape out there. Maybe this is just his audition to locking up a roster spot. He lost the backup job in Cleveland, and that's why he ended up in Arizona. He's the de facto starter until Kyler Murray returns, if and when. And right now he's making the most of this opportunity, and I love these little underdog stories. Josh Dobbs, he should celebrate this. Jonathan Gannon should celebrate this, a good win, and something to build on, because this team was slated to be tanking this whole year. But remember, players have prideful people too. They want to get their best tape. They'll simply not roll over. So Dallas has some things to work on, and losing to Arizona of all teams is a big red flag. I thought they're different, but just when you think they're looking good, they lay an egg like this. Dallas has some things to work on, and yes, they play the New England Patriots next week, and that's a big test because they're built around the running game yet again. You know, Bill Belichick will have some colorful defensive schemes for Dak Prescott, and also just running the ball with former Cowboys running back Ezekiel Elliott and then Stevenson as well. So something to look out for. That defense has some things to work on. Pass rush is fine. Have to work on coverage now without Trevon Diggs, but also get this run defense secured because that could lead to a big can of worms later on this season for the Dallas Cowboys.